A hot hatch has to be fun, fast, and practical. Do those three things and you've got a great hot hatch. Today, we've got a Mark III Renault Megane RS Trophy, and we're gonna find out if this hot hatch is A, fun, and B, is it fast, and C, if you can actually manage to live with this thing. Now this Megane RS we are sitting in today is a trophy edition. So this is quite rare. Only 100 were sold here in Australia and only 1,000 globally. Now what you got over the standard Megane RS was special 19-inch wheels, a few little carbon bits, and an Akrapovic exhaust. Titanium. Very nice. They only came in yellow or white, 6-speed manual, no autos. Love that. Has a 4-cylinder turbo up front, makes about 275 horsepower and about 266 pound-foot of torque. From 0 to 100, something like 6 seconds. And inside, it feels pretty quirky. Look, this is a French car, it's a Renault. I love the Recaro seats in here. They're just super aggressive. You know, got Alcantara, red stitching everywhere in this car. Some fake carbon fiber on the dash. Even this very weird squishy fake carbon fiber on the door side. But it's cool, and you know, there's even an infotainment system up here. It's got some track apps, a little Renault Megane on your nav system, which is just comical. And for what this car is, it's fun, weird in here, and I like it. Gauge cluster is a little bit off-putting with the weird angle, but anyways, let's get this thing out on the road and see how this car actually drives. And just straight away, putting it into RS mode. This car is no joke. You know, it is quite a fast, fun little hot hatch. I gotta say, you know, I'm not a huge Renault fan, but this particular Megane RS Trophy is something really special. It really is. And you just look at this car, it means business straight away. I absolutely love the styling, the quirkiness, that French flair. It is a very cool car, this. Now this being a Mark III, this is a 3-door chassis, and these were in production from 2004 all the way up till 2016. This particular one being the Trophy, these came out in 2014, and you know, it's pretty nice in here. You know, look, you can start to feel the age a little bit with the infotainment system, the radio, and climate controls and that, but you know, it still feels pretty modern. And I think this is kind of the sweet spot before things just got way too modernized, because you look at the new Megane RS and you know, that's a 5-door hatch now, and it's kind of lost a little bit of that raw driving experience. I feel like personally, I really do much prefer this kind of exciting manual 3-door hot hatch vibe. A thing that really stands out with this particular car is the shifter and the pedals, because you can just heel toe so easily in this car. The shifter is great. It just feels really solid. Look, we've got electrically assisted steering here, which I'm never a big fan of, but I will say this is probably some of the best electrically assisted steering I have ever driven, because it really does feel weighty when it's in the RS mode. The steering is quite sharp, and it's really hard to fault this car. It really is. And just running through the gears. And the noises, the sensation. You feel this car through the seat, through the wheels. You hear it. It just hits all of those cues that you want from a really fun raw driving experience. And a hot hatch, it's gotta be fun, it's gotta be fast, and boy, this thing is ticking both of those boxes very, very well. Driving position does feel really good. You know, the seats are super hugging, very aggressive. It's not the most comfortable car, but again, you're not gonna buy this thing because it's the most comfortable car. You know, you want this to be a fun, raw driving experience that, you know, in an emergency, you can still fit a couple of people in the back seats. And that's what you can do in this thing. And, you know, you feel all of the road, but I wouldn't say it's harsh. I think they've done a pretty good job in dampening this car. Again, you do feel everything, but it's not crashy. And you can live with this thing if you're a real enthusiast. Really cool feature about this car, which I did not expect to see, was this has track apps. And I just keep saying this about every car manufacturer almost. It's really the Chrysler, the Dodge. They've had a lot of success, even the HSVs. They've done a lot of success doing track apps in their infotainment systems. And Renault has done the same. And it's awesome to see. You know, you've got all these different pages you can scroll through. You can see a lot of the different G-forces or the power outputs. You got track timers. This thing will actually register when you've gone to the track and start recording. There is a little SD card you can plug in down here, and it will just record all of your everything. It'll record the whole car, its braking, its acceleration, its power outputs. That is just super cool to see. And cars like this, manufacturers, that is what you got to do to win over the enthusiast, because that's what we want. And the other thing is, this thing has an awesome exhaust system. That Akrapovic exhaust in the back, titanium, saves about 4 kilos in weight. And it pops and bangs, you can hear it. It is bloody awesome, and that is what you want in a car like this. You put it in the RS mode, man, it is fun to hear this thing. Now, price, brand new, this is about 53 grand, and that's for a trophy. So I'm pretty impressed with the fact that, you know, this was pretty reasonably affordable. Now in the used market, you can get these up for around that $30,000 mark. And I think that is an absolute bargain right now, because we're in COVID times as well, and they're still about 30 grand. And I honestly think with the limited production of this car, the fun of it, I think it's a car that is probably going to hold its value, if not go up, very soon, because my goodness, they just don't make hot hatches quite like this anymore. And this is kind of the last of the really raw, fun hot hatches, I feel like. It's absolutely insane. Now, I have been told if you upgrade the downpipes, this thing can really come alive. The noises can just be absolutely insane, and it will shoot some flames. So I think that would be an epic mod to get. But even still as it is, it actually does still sound bloody brilliant. And for a factory car, I love this thing. Now, this car only weighs about 1.3 ton, 275 horsepower. You know, it's not the healthiest in today's standard, but I gotta say, it feels really healthy. And, you know, you can really push this car to some fun speeds, and it still lets you max this car out. And that is always a good key aspect of hot hatches. You wanna be able to run through the gears in these cars. You want to be able to max it out a couple of times in the rev range. And you can do that in this car, and it is just a massive amount of fun. And look, for practicality, I think this car, you can tick the box, because, you know, you got 5 seats in this car. I wouldn't say you want to have 5 people in this thing. In an emergency, you can do it. But, you know, even if you had a couple of mates, you could put 2 people back there, you know, for a short, medium trip. It's not going to be the most comfortable journey, but you can do it. And even in the boot, there's enough space, and the seats kind of do fold down. Look, they don't fold flat, but they fold down enough that, you know, there's quite a bit of room in the back of this car. It's claimed at 7.5 liters per 100 Ks, and in general, these are meant to be quite reliable. Yes! This thing is fun. Like, for a 4-cylinder, you can't really get much more fun than this. I'm being perfectly honest. This thing is a hoot to drive, and it's proper quick. It really does feel proper quick. We've also got big Brembos up front, so you know the stopping power is pretty decent. The back brakes, well, they probably could get upgraded, but the majority of the weight of this car is up front anyway, so they do the job. Now, just quickly, a huge shout out to this week's Patreon supporters. If you guys want to join the Patreon, get early access to content, videos, merch, there is a link in the description, so check it out. Now, 0 to 100. Look, this has actually got a timer itself, but we got the draggy. We're going to use it, so let's build it up to about 2,000. We bogged down a little bit on that one. I probably could have built the revs up a little bit harder, but that was telling me about 6.4, 0 to 100. Not bad, really, it's not bad. And on our draggy, which we were gonna start using, that's actually showing up as 7 seconds, so yeah, I mean, that's a fair variant difference, so you know, around that 7-second mark, I reckon you could easily get another second off this car, I really do. Honestly, never thought I would love a Renault as much as I love this thing, because, yeah, I've just never really loved the brand at all, and this one, it just ticks all the boxes, it really does. Looks good. Inside is fun, it's quirky, it's sporty, the sound is there, the speed is there. It's just engaging, it really is.
I've really got to say, there is something about this quirky little French car. From the awkward gauges to its snarling exhaust. To put it bluntly, the Renault Megane RS Trophy is the definition of what a fun hot hatch should be. And as much as I wanted to dislike this Renault, I simply could not find a fault with it. The price is right, it's good looking, it's practical enough, it's so much fun to drive. The only way you could have more fun driving this is if Renault had managed to give it wings. And then maybe they could finally beat Red Bull. But besides the point, this hot hatch is nearly perfect in every category. And for that enthusiast who wants a great track car and that they can still live with and at the right price, here's your cake and you can eat it. Thanks for watching.